Excuse me, sir, but the Crook's bar?
Yes. You don't need to know why.
Are you sure you want to go to Crook's? I'm sure Mrs. Strauss would be upset if she heard you were here.
I kind of just take a deep breath, tap my fingers a few times and say, Frank, I'm here for a reason. A moment. I check my pager.
You see, it is from your dear sire.
What does it say?
It says, call me, call me, call me, call me, call me, call me, call me. This is Red Moon Roleplaying.
I just need to go and get some air. Good work, Claudia. You keep writing drivel, and I'll be right back.
But she only says that before you close the door and go outside, I suppose.
Yes, I pretty much just turn immediately and walk off. Often something I do.
You pick up your phone. You have her sire's number on speed dial.
Yes, I do. And I ring her.
It rings a couple of times. Your sire is... Oh, she's amazing. She is the best thing that has ever happened to you since your own mother, who left very early in your childhood. And you've kind of seen her as your mom this entire time. Everyone else around you, and who knows you and your sire, thinks she is treating you horribly. But you don't see that. No, she's just taking care of you. She's making sure that you're safe. So, anyone else doesn't know the fine dynamics within your relationship.
Yes, no, she knows what's best for me. That's why she brought me to this existence, and so she can be harsh, but she has to be. You have to be. She's taught me that many times. It's funny, my composure, even as I'm making the call, I just can't help but sort of adjust my shirt a little, fiddle with my jacket, like almost as if I think she can see me right now. I know she can't. Well, actually, I don't. But it's always best to be prepared.
Right. It rings a couple of times, and it doesn't take long before you hear a male voice pick up.
Hello?
It's... I sound a little confused for a moment. It's Taylor, Vincent Taylor. I'm expected to ring.
Taylor? Who? 1 second.
You hear the phone put to the table, and people talk in the background, and you can just feel yourself. Oh, your jealousy is rising through the roof. Who is he? You've never heard of any male friends your sire has had. Why is he there? What is he doing near her? What's going on? Why have you never heard of him?
He's not heard of me, and I am known.
That too. It doesn't take long before you hear your dear sire's voice.
Strauss.
Uh,
Oh, it's you.
Miss...
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Why are you calling me? Oh, yeah. So I've heard about, your family, your father. I need you to cut ties with your family and your father now. I'm kind of getting tired of you talking about him all the time. I think he's distracting my little Vincent from doing what he needs to do. So I think it's about time you cut the umbilical cord with your dad.
Well, of course, Miss Strauss, of course, but I mean, it's surely not. I only a phone call at Christmas. Like I made sure. I mean, he's getting very old, and it's just the occasional birthday visit is. It's not that distracting,
Vincent,
is it?
You're not listening to me, sweetie. You need to cut ties with your daddy because he's not good for you. I've been thinking this through, you know. I just want the best for you, and I think the best for you is to focus on me and the person you are now. The old Vincent is dead. What we have now is my little Vincent, and I think it's about time that you realize that, and I don't think you can do that before you cut ties with your father, so I think you need to do that.
You can see that Claudia is kind of waiting for you in front of you. The exhibition is closing down. She's standing with her arms crossed, looking at her watch.
I, for a moment, feel this desire to try and plead my case, but it doesn't happen. I've not really ever had a reason to go against my sire, and it's almost as if the very thought of it, I suddenly just feel this sort of clenching on my chest, and I just sort of go,
Vincent, use big boy words. Come on.
Yes, Miss Strauss, I shall, of course. You're right, you are right. Of course, you are always right. Yes, I will. I shall.
Good.
As you say.
Good boy. I'm so proud of you, you know. You are by far my third best child I have.
That means a lot to me, Miss Strauss. Who was the person who answered the phone?
Oh, no one you need to worry about. He's just a very dear friend of mine.
You kind of hear him laugh in the background as if they're ridiculing you almost, but you don't. You know they are, but you just accept it because it's your sire and you love her.
Yes, again, a surge of great anger at this individual is sort of, again, crushed down, a bit like a boot, just sort of stepping on my actual inclinations.
He's an artist, like, oh yeah, not like you, you're not really an artist, but he's a very good artist. He has a art show in the city right now, and it's very successful.
Is it? Well, that just sounds great. That's great. I'm actually at a silly art show now. It's stupid, though. Rubbish.
Oh, what kind of art show are you attending, Vincent? I thought you'd tell me when you went somewhere. I thought we had a deal.
I thought Frank had already mentioned it. In fact, I'm still there. I was assessing it for you. Completely rubbish, though. Some silly artist, Mystique, calling himself Unknown, has put up a bunch of corpses, or things that look like corpses. They're all loving it here, but I'm just seeing a cheap horror show, really.
Oh, Vincent, do you think that's rubbish? I think you want to carefully select your words and try again. What do you think of that art show, really?
There's a bit of a pause. I look to Claudia. I do a little bit of internal thinking. Of course, maybe the lighting's a bit off. If you're interested, I can definitely... I'm trying to find out the person it is. See if I can get some more information if you wanted to find buyers or sellers. I think I could have another look, sire. I could definitely do that.
Oh, sweet boy. You don't need to tell me who it is. I'm standing right next to him. I hope you enjoyed the show, and don't forget to give kisses to your father for me. Okay? Bye.
She hangs up. When you turn around again, you see Claudia is gone. She has had enough of waiting for you. You almost feel like your entire ego is crumpling up. You are furious. This has been the worst night you've had in almost the entire year. First of all, Claudia, your biggest fan, is just walking off without you, dragging you into some art show by some artist who's apparently better than you, and now your sire is having some sort of affair with him. That's just great.
Again, to anyone looking, you just see me standing on the roadside very still. Very, very still. And then I just sort of look around. I reach into my pocket and I have a little pen I carry around to make notes. And I just very slowly drive the pen into my hand. And I just sort of do that, all the while internally fuming, and I look for... Well, actually, I look to the exhibition. It's closing down, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I remove the pen, which of course has left a rather nasty mark in my hand, but that's fine. It'll go. And I page Frank.
Alright. So, as you page him, you also hear that there is something going on in the bar next to you. You hear almost like a band start playing. And that's the last thing you hear before we go to Dolph again. Dolph, your lovely girlfriend Ada is returning back into the living room, and she is looking much more sharp. She's wearing a tight bodycon, almost like little black dress with sequins detail and a couple of diamond earrings you gave her. And she has curled her long blonde hair so it drapes over her shoulders. She has a sapphire necklace on that glimmers in your meticulously placed lights inside of your living room. And she looks stunning. She looks like she knows exactly what she's doing, and it's almost like she's getting a little more confident as you look at her. You don't really know if you like that. You don't really know if you like her showing that much off of herself.
I have to say, you're being very bold with what you're wearing tonight.
Yeah, I thought that, it's a club or something like that. I've never been to it, so I just thought I'll go simple.
Well, I hope you're prepared for lots of people to stare at you. Obviously, I will step in if someone is getting a little too inappropriate, but I'm going to be quite busy. There's going to be a lot of people talking to me, so just be aware that you may get attention you don't want.
No, I'm sure I can handle it. It's not too bad.
Or is it that you want that kind of attention?
She gets a little more insecure again. She kind of gets into that more role that you like her to be in. That submissive role where you control her. You don't like her not being within your control. It makes you a little happier to see that, because then you know she will not stray from your side. She looks down herself and she looks up. Do you think that should I change?
You look absolutely stunning, darling. You really do. Now we need to get to dinner with your parents.
Yeah, we do.
I've already booked a taxi. We don't need to drive anywhere.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Well, let's go do it then. So you walk out of your apartment, not without you checking the mirror at least 3 times before you walk out. You need to make sure that you look absolutely perfect. Not only for, it doesn't really matter. Her parents doesn't really matter to you that much. They're just kind of a distraction. But you want to make Ada happy. But mostly because you are going to this exclusive party that's even intriguing you a bit. You've been to your fair share of exclusive parties, but this just seems so special. So you check yourself in the mirror. You correct your tie a bit. You accept the way you look. It's alright. But you check with Ada again to see if there's anything that needs to be corrected. And you go into the taxi that's parked outside. Ada is, she's looking happy. She's looking excited. She always likes when she can show you off to people that's important to her. She's obviously very proud of you. Very proud of of who you are and how you carry yourself. Are you looking forward to this, or is it just like a drag for you?
I think Dolph is sat in the taxi. If he was alive, he would be looking half asleep and not at all interested. As he's dead, he is pretty much just sat locked in place. This really isn't worth his effort. It isn't that he doesn't want to make Ada happy. He loves making Ada happy, really, in his own way. And it isn't that he doesn't like her parents. He finds them perfectly tolerable, but his mind is on this party that he's been invited to. This is a distraction.
Hello?
Hmm?
I'm just asking if are you excited, or is it just like a drag, or?
Oh no, of course. I was miles away. No, of course. I'm very much looking forward to this dinner.
So what are we gonna tell them? Are we just gonna use the old, you're on a diet?
Yes, I'm fasting. Photo shoot tomorrow. Don't want to eat a big meal before a photo shoot.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not that difficult. It's worked for the last few years.
Yeah, just don't mind my mom if she gets like a little upset. You know, she's been cooking all day.
Oh, God, I thought we were going to a restaurant. We're going to their house.
Yeah, I told you that last week.
Well, I've had a lot on my mind. Fair enough. I wonder how your mum will feel if I ask for a doggy bag. You know how I can always say that food looks absolutely delightful, Mrs. Simpson. Unfortunately, I can't eat it tonight, but I'm sure it will taste just as good, if not better, reheated in the microwave tomorrow.
Well, you know, you can always charm her. You have that effect.
Well, you know, I have a good way with words.
Yeah. And if my dad starts commenting on your choice of career, just don't get into a fight with him.
I won't get into a fight with him. I can't expect everyone to understand this kind of business. Don't worry, I'm not going to embarrass you.
No, that's not what I mean. She puts her hand on your hand and kind of gives it a squeeze. Looks at you. I just want you to have a good time. I know that you don't think that this is the best thing you can do on a Saturday night, but I just want you to be happy.
Honestly, darling, this is good. It makes me feel alive in a rather mundane and dreary sense, and that's as necessary as taking drugs in a exclusive club. You know, there's certainly still a better alternative to rubbing shoulders with creatures that have been around for hundreds of years.
Yeah, I guess so.
For me, not much has changed, honestly, since being alive. And I suppose some people would probably look at me and think, well, he's turned into a bit of a cold fish. But I just want things to carry on as they've always been.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they will for a long time. At least for you. She kind of goes quiet. You've been talking about what to do in terms of when years pass and she gets older and you don't, and what you're going to do. She has proposed that you introduce her to the world you live in, but you're very hesitant. You know the curse that it brings with you. You don't think that your life is better in any way. A part of you hates being this monster you are. A part of you wants mortality again. So you are split in two because you don't want to lose Ada either. doesn't take long, about a half an hour before you are in the outskirts of the city. And you arrive in this little suburban neighborhood. Very much like any other suburban neighborhood in Chicago. And the taxi pulls up to a decently sized house, but definitely not anything fancy. You know that Ada's parents are well off, but not anything that will make them high society.
Mr. Simpson, Mrs. Simpson, it's always a pleasure.
The mother smiles and she puts her hands on each of your cheek and gives them a kiss. Oh, you're always so cold, Dolph.
Bad circulation runs in my family, Mrs. S.
Yeah. Yes. Well, get inside and I'm sure you'll get warmer. I've put more fire in the fireplace, and I'm sure we'll have a wonderful time, won't we, George? Ada's father never liked you. He is a man of the older school, and he doesn't like that his daughter is dating a model because he thinks modeling is for girls. He has commented on that several times, but he grunts and he looks at you and lifts his head. Dolph.
Mr. S, thank you for inviting me over to your lovely home.
You can thank my wife. He turns around and leaves you there. Your tricks never really worked on him. You don't know why. You've always been able to charm yourself into anyone's good graces, but not his. He's kind of a challenge for you. And you don't dislike him for that. It's actually something you find a little intriguing. What is it about him that makes him so different? Why doesn't it work on him? Before we go on here, I am just quickly going to turn over to Alan.
Yeah.
Alan, you get a phone call.
I stand up from having patted one of the dogs. I was trying to encourage myself to muster up some courage for this tonight's gig. I take out my cell phone. Yeah. Looking at that, is this a number I know?
Yeah, this is your mom.
Oh, all right. Yeah, okay. I take it. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Alan, sweetie. Do we need to pick you up for tonight? We are heading out now. I'm not guessing you've forgotten that we need to go to dinner with... What are their names again, darling? Yeah, someone that works for Father.
Yeah. Oh, tonight? I try to rack my brain. Do I remember anything about this?
Yeah, you've probably been told this last week.
I try to tell you, my mama. I have a gig tonight. I have to work,
Yes, but that can surely not be more important than helping your father get through this night. We will pick you up in 15 minutes. Please look decent.
No.
She hangs up.
Shit. I look at my watch. How long is it until the gig's gonna start?
You should actually be able to make it. It's in 2 hours.
Okay. Yeah, she short dinner. Did she say Dad needed my help for something? Is my brother gonna be there as well?
You don't know. You suppose so. He's always there.
Yeah, of course he is. Butt liquor. Yeah. Okay, so where are they gonna pick me up? I'm guessing at my place then.
Yeah. If you're not going to do anything else in between that, a black car will pull up. It's your dad's car. He rolls down the window to expose your mom, and she's looking angry as always. She never looks happy. She never looks satisfied. She always looks like there's something terribly wrong. But she looks very... You would put it as correct. She looks like an attractive elderly lady. She's been wearing the same clothes, the same style, the same everything for years. it's almost like she's stuck in the 80s. And she doesn't wear 80s clothes, but she never changes. She's always the same. Always so bland and boring.
Yeah, it's horrible. She's not.
She looks at you.
I am a. Yeah,
Alan, I told you to look presentable.
I forgot about it, Mom. I'm sorry.
Oh, dear.
I was busy. No,
no.
I was getting ready for the I was gonna work later. You know this. It's 2 hours.
Just get in the car.
I go over to the back door and open it up as I look in.
Yeah, so you get into the car. Your dad does not even say hi to you. He is visibly disappointed. You can almost see his eyes in the reflection of the mirrors that he is not happy. In the backseat with you is your brother, your dear brother. Hey, what's up?
Hey, Walter.
Hey,
yeah,
how are you
okay,
doing?
Yeah, I'm okay. I thought you're gonna be driving yourself here. No, you taking the back seat tonight? Yeah.
Nah, I've been helping Ma, Dad to, get ready.
Yeah, okay.
yeah. For the the dinner we have tonight that she's been, reminding you of ever since last week. But one thing can be difficult to remember for.
Yeah. I work on weekends usually.
Oh yeah,
So,
work. Sure.
Yeah. So how you been, brother? How you?
No, I'm good. That real estate that has not been able to sell for months now. The big white building.
Yeah. You're talking about
just
so when you came with it.
Yeah. First try.
Oh, you sold it.
No big deal.
That's great.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty great. I'm pretty great actually at doing all this.
Yeah.
Having a
great.
real job is really, it can be hard sometimes, man, but it's worth it. So how's everything going with your friend? The car kind of goes quiet. Your family doesn't know that you are gay, and your brother loves to pick up on things. You think he knows what you are and what your sexuality is, and you know that he's just trying to expose you. He's just trying to make you crack.
And I kind of just feel like I've been slapped in the face. I'm not sure what to say, so I'm sitting there and I look down at my fingers and we had to restructure a bit of the band. One guy had to go, and things are changing and stuff. It's nothing special,
He kind of loosens his seatbelt a bit, and he leans over to you, right next to your ear, and he whispers, "Did he break up with you?"
And I get so angry. I'm sitting there and something just takes over me, and I wanna just tear his face off. I wanna just punch him straight through his skull outside of the window on the other side of the car, and I get so angry.
All right, I need you to make a composure and etiquette roll.
Okay. And that's 1 success and a 2 on the hunger die.
Okay, 1 success.
Yeah.
You. This is just too much. This is too much in one evening. How fucking dare he? He doesn't know anything about what you've just been through, and you can just see images of Michael flashing by, and images of you and him, your first kiss, your first date, of him writing you poems, of him joining the band for the first time, and something just takes over you. It's not even your beast. It's not that. It's you. It's Alan. It's you having enough. And you yell out in the car. You don't touch him. You yell out in the car. You don't fucking know me! And everything goes quiet. You're shaking. You're shaking with pure anger. And you're fighting to keep tears back.
I just feel that I said that to the whole car. It's no one here knows me. I don't understand why I had to go on this shit, you know?
Your mom turns around. Cold and stone-faced as always. She doesn't seem like she's even faced by what you're going through right now. She says, "Dear, can you not yell in the car? We are all sat very close by. You know your father has very bad hearing. Please control yourself for once, will you?"
I just sink into my seat and just rubbing my hands. And I say, "Yes, Mom. Walter was saying things again. He was saying stupid things."
Yeah, sure, darling. She doesn't even acknowledge you or your trouble at all. That's what it's been like ever since you was a child. You were never anything. You were the second child. You were just there. You were a mistake. Every time your brother did something, stole your toys, destroyed your things, and you told your parents, your mother would never believe you and your father wouldn't care. So this is just like it's always been. Why do you even try? Why do you even care anymore? After about an hour's drive, you arrive at the same house as Dolph and his girlfriend Ada just arrived to. And your mother scoffs and, look at this, Richard. We can't go in here. What if people sees us? And your father kind of grumps, like, it doesn't really matter to him. He gets out of the car, and your mother looks more and more stressed by the moment. And but she gets out and she corrects her dress, and she looks at the house as if it's a shack. And they walk up and they knock on the door, and you, Dolph, you are almost standing right next to it, and you hear a knock. So it must be it must be them then. Okay, is everything ready? You see Ada's mom being in a higher stress level than she usually is. She's always stressed, but right now she seems like a wreck.
Do you want me to get that, Mrs. S?
Could you, Dolph? I have a.
Of course, I know how to open a door.
I have a roast in the oven, and she kind of scours into the kitchen. And you open the door, and you are greeted by a tall, very thin woman dressed in a gray, boring dress that doesn't really fit her very well, but it looks like fashion that's 30 years old. And a smaller man that also looks like he's wearing something from the past decade. And she looks surprised. The woman looks surprised, and she looks at you. Sorry, did we get the right house?
I assume so. I'm a guest here. I stand out of the way of the door so that they can see inside.
Oh. She reaches out to greet you. How do you do?
How do you do? I shake her hand.
You're a very handsome young man.
Well, I would hope so.
The man by her side, which you assume is her husband, reaches out to greet you too.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. And behind them comes a tall, blonde, almost like he almost looks like a male version of Ada. He looks like he could be a male model, actually. He has a very chiseled jaw. He's athletic. He's not wearing the best fashion. You could definitely dress him up better, but he actually looks like he's pretty well kept. He looks like he's wearing a Dior suit, so he definitely has money. And he reaches out and greets you and grabs your hand pretty tightly, like he's almost trying to show dominance over you. That's how you look at it, at least.
Well,
hey, what's up?
Good evening. Nice outfit.
Yeah, thanks. It's pretty expensive too.
Really?
Yeah. Not that you would know. He mumbles.
Oh no, I would.
So, everyone is just standing in the hallway right now. It's pretty awkward. And the door's almost closing until Alan steps in. And he looks like he's seen a ghost. His hair is a little disheveled. He hasn't even taken a shower before he's thrown out of an apartment this morning. He's wearing a hoodie and some jeans.
Look at this guy who's apparently very well dressed. He's really good looking. I kind of flicker with my gaze and I just give a little nod.
You with them?
Yeah. And I hold my...
excuse me. I turn around and look to the guy who could have been a male model. Is he with you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. That's very embarrassing. I just didn't want someone off the street just following guests into...
Yeah. I totally get that, man. I get how you can think that. But he's actually my brother. Believe it or not.
Okay. Well, yes, I'm terribly sorry. I don't mean to be rude. I extend a hand.
And my hand was already half extended, and then on its way back as you turned away, and then it goes back up again. Hi. Yeah. You live here?
No, I am just like you, a guest. Please come in.
You both realize that you are used to, when you shake someone's hand, to feel like an intense heat from that person's hand. But for some reason, none of you are experiencing that right now.
And I kind of hold my hand there. It's a kind of a loose, not very nice grip. But I still kind of freeze in that pose. And I look in your eyes curiously. And I think to myself, have I seen this guy before? Is he a famous guy? Do I recognize him from somewhere?
You've definitely seen him before. He is not someone you follow, but he's been in the news a couple of times. He is on some. He's been in some magazines that you've read and enjoyed, and you slowly realize who he actually is, and he is Dolph Chang, a famous male model. So that's how you know him. But it's like there's something inside of you that thinks you know him from someplace else too. He's not only a famous figure, he's something else, but you can't put your finger on it.
I kind of squint with my eyes and I say, "Hey, you Dolph Chang?"
Are you guilty as charged? I am. I suppose you've seen me. I'm guessing you're not wearing what I'm selling.
No, man, you look great. Yeah, I seen your Instagram, man. I seen you on TV as well. I think, yeah. Things are good for you, yeah. You're doing well.
Yes, all about maintaining certain routines and staying in touch with important people and staying employed. Are you employed? Do you have a job?
I look at the rest of my family as they start moving in, or do they stand here staring, looking at our conversation?
No, your mother she's perusing the house. She's almost investigating everything, driving her finger over surfaces, looking with disdain on different kind of art they have in the house, while Ada's mom is looking like a nervous wreck. Both of the fathers are kind of just sitting at the table looking at each other, but they're not talking. They're just kind of acknowledging each other's presence. And your brother is trying to talk to Ada. And Ada is trying to help out in the kitchen and kind of looks a little confused at the man that's talking to her.
Let's find a corner briefly so we can have a chat.
Yeah, sure, yeah. It's very strange to me that that Dolph Shang wants to do this. There's something else there, though. It's like, yeah, I do recognize him from somewhere. Well, there's something about him. It can't possibly be. But I follow him to find a place where we could have a little chat.
I give Ada a wave just so she knows I'm all right, but I don't gesture for her to come over.
Ada nods and smiles, and as she's chopping some sort of salad or something.
I nod to her as well as I see she's looking up, and yeah, hi.
She waves. She doesn't seem too judgmental of how you look. She's almost the first person today that doesn't seem judgmental at all.
I've had such a shitty day. I'm thinking to myself, that's nice to see a friendly face.
So I don't tend to spend time with other members of our little social club, but when I run into them, like I just ran into you, and I assume I'm not barking up the wrong tree here.
No, I was just wondering myself, because you one of us, yeah? And how's that going for you?
Well, as I said, I maintain a healthy lifestyle, I think is the important word.
It's not easy.
It seems to be going well.
That your girlfriend in there?
It is.
Sorry to be intrusive, but does she know? Sorry, maybe that's inappropriate. I was just... I had a pretty shitty day, man. I was just...
By orders of the most influential members of our club, no people outside of the club are supposed to know about us.
Yeah, there's that, yeah. So no then, I guess.
If she was, I wouldn't tell you. I don't know who the hell you are.
Yeah, that's fair play. So, are you one of these people? Are you influential? You are like.
Well, you recognize me. No, I'm just. I'm the boyfriend of the daughter of the host of the party, and so I'm here to rub shoulders before going on to somewhere a little more interesting. But you didn't ask my question. Are you actually employed?
Well,
do you have an income?
Yeah. I play the piano. Yeah, doing pretty well actually. Yeah.
Oh, creative, wonderful.
Yeah. It's okay. Family hates it beyond anything else. Or I don't know, if they knew more about me, they probably hate that even more. I don't know. But I'm doing right, yeah. Been playing at jazz clubs, some pretty good ones too, yeah.
And have you found your lifestyle has changed much since you know?
Well, in a way, I don't tend to surround myself with that many people anyways. I guess not too much. It's mostly my face and the appearances that I suddenly had to spend a lot of energy to maintain.
Well, yes, I've found that just doing everything that I used to when I was still, I guess, like the rest of them, is good enough for me. I don't know what the big problem is, frankly, as long as one keeps certain nighttime activities compartmentalized.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, there's that bit, and you gotta do what you gotta do in that way, I guess. So
it doesn't take long before you see Ada coming over, and behind her is Alan's brother, who is constantly talking to her. You can see, Dolph, that she looks tired. And she looks like she's trying to gesture to kind of shake him off of her. When she pretty loudly says, "And this is my boyfriend, Dolph."
Ah, yes.
Oh, that's your boyfriend? Okay.
Well, I appear to have got off on the wrong foot with you. What's your name?
Doesn't matter.
Well, I suppose not. Not really. If you don't have a name, then that's...
This is my brother, Walter.
Fair enough. Yes, I see you've met my girlfriend. Lucky you. My name's Dolph, and I suspect we won't be chatting much for the rest of the evening. I don't know.
What are you supposed to be?
What am I supposed to be?
What do you do?
I'm a model for a living.
You're
I wear
a model?
clothes.
That's a girl's job.
You know, I could get into a cock jousting match with you, young man, and try and one up you, try and brag about my bank account or where I live or how nice my car is and who tailors my suits. But I've dealt with people like you my entire life, and all I've really found is that you're a waste of saliva. I don't have an excess amount of saliva anymore.
I kind of giggle at this.
So,
What the fuck are you talking about?
let's just agree to not have any conversations, and I will forget about you by tomorrow night.
Yeah, fine. Baby, when you get away from that guy, and I'm sure you will, you give me a call, okay?
Oh, whoa. I step forward at this, not getting into his face. I'm not necessarily a tough guy. You don't just do that, you know? There's certain behavior that one must maintain in a party environment. It's called courtesy, it's called etiquette, it's generally called being raised to be polite, and I'm assuming you were raised to just be a complete and utter cretin. So why don't you apologize to my girlfriend for being a creep? And why don't you apologize to me for trying to show me up?
At this point, I want to try and let a little something start crawling up the inside of my brother's trousers. I'm gonna release a few bugs that will crawl along the carpet and
Alright, okay. I'm gonna have you make a rouse check.
I fail.
You fail, so you gain 1 hunger dot. Alright. But you do succeed. And your brother, who is normally very confident, he's standing like with his arms crossed, and he's looks like he's starting to dance. He's shaking his right leg while he's trying to look all tough. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck? And he's trying to brush his leg, and he's slowly losing face. And Dolph, you're seeing this, and it looks hilarious, honestly. Not much entertains you, but this is wonderful.
Now get away from him, Ada. I think he might have crabs.
Ada starts to laugh, and everyone starts, you three starts to laugh at him, and he points towards you, Dolph, and he's like, I'm gonna fucking get you for this. Very high school drama. You just got the bully. And he walks off and into the hallway, and you can just hear him swearing. And you, Dolph, you see Alan giggling. The first time you've seen him smile tonight.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to interrupt your little what you had going there, but I'm sorry. I had a shitty night. I just had to. I just had to have a little fun, man.
There's a part of Dolph's mind that's thinking, how dare this grotty little person get in the way of his put down. He was trying to cut this Frank up with his words, and all it required was a little cheap slapstick. But on the other hand, it was entertaining, and it was effective. And that just reminds Dolph that no man is an island. And he smiles. You said your name was Alan.
Yeah, Alan. Smythe Winters, like the rest of these trying to be something people.
Oh, very entertaining work, Alan. I very much doubt we're going to be spending a great deal of time with each other. I imagine we'll be in different circles.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
don't be like that, Dolph. He's really nice. Hi, my name is Ada. I'm sorry, but your brother's a dick.
Yeah, well, I'm happy for you that I didn't have to grow up with him by his side, and I hold out my hand and I shake hers.
Are you okay? You look like you've been in a fight or something.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. And I sort of feel myself. Am I okay?
Yeah, you're fine. But you have not showered. You look not very appealing.
Yeah. There's that, and I suddenly become very self-aware, and especially in front of these two amazingly good-looking people, and particularly now that there's this girl who's being really nice to me. I kind of forgot that we had this dinner tonight. I didn't have time to change, and I look like shit. I know.
Oh no! You look fine. You look like, you know what? It's actually kind of in to have this like street level look. So it's kind of nice actually. Don't feel bad about it, right, Dolph?
Thanks. What do you say your name was? Sorry.
Ada.
Oh, Ada. Yeah. Thanks, Ada.
Her name is Ada. She's my girlfriend.
Yeah. Not gonna try to. Nothing. I'm happy for you too. That's great.
So you just chat back and forth next 5 minutes until you are interrupted by Ada's mom, who is calling everyone over to dinner. And you sit down, and it's almost like you have allocated places like around the table. You already know where to put yourself, or at least the family knows. Ellen, your brother, is sitting right next to your dad, and they're chatting along and having a great old time, and you are, as usual, sat very far away from your family, and also almost like closer to Dolph and Ada. And Ada's mom is very busy running around the table, making sure everyone has something to eat. She's constantly asking Dolph, oh, you need to eat something. You have a big day tomorrow if you have a photo shoot.
No, I'm really sorry about this, Mrs. S. I know it's very embarrassing. It's very embarrassing for me. I love coming over here. I love every time I get to spend dining with your family, but this lifestyle of mine, this job I've got, it is really demanding. Sometimes I hate it. Sometimes I hate the fact that I can't enjoy such a fantastic meal. But I know that tomorrow, if I have even, and sorry to be crude, even an ounce of gas, or if I even need to have a break to go to the toilet or anything like that, it's just, my life won't be worth living. So that's why I'm going to have to decline your wonderful food, and all I can hope is that you've got some kind of Tupperware that we can put some of it in so that I can reheat it tomorrow night.
Oh, sweet Dolph.
Once I'm done with work, because I would love nothing more than to eat some of this, and when I do, I will send you a text and I'll tell you exactly what I think of it.
Oh, sweet Dolph, you're always so polite. I'm so happy that my little Ada found you. It's such a such a nice young man. I'll make sure to put something aside from you.
And at his remark, I'm kind of impressed. They're sitting sort of at the end of the table. I have some food on my plate that I'm shuffling around and just cutting things up and then putting it in different places on the plate. And wow, he really has a good excuse for stuff.
So the dinner kind of goes along. Ada's mom is trying to make you eat too, Alan, but you make up some excuse that you have a stomach bug or something. And it works. She looks concerned, but it works. Suddenly, a phone is ringing around the table, and Alan, your father gets up. And he's like, oh, I don't know this number. Excuse me. He gets up and he leaves the room.
Yeah.
5 minutes pass by. And he gets back into the room. And he almost looks as pale as the tablecloth that is covering the mahogany table you're sitting at. He stares at you, Ellen.
I get really nervous at this. I'm looking at my watch. I should probably go to my...
You are not going anywhere, Ellen.
Something...
Ellen. Why have you never... Why must you always be a disappointment to this family?
Dad.
Everyone stops in the middle of their meal and looks up at this drama that's going on around the table. Even you, Dolph, you look a little confused and concerned, and Ada stops eating too, and she looks over at she actually looks over at Alan, concerned. Are you... Answer me, Alan.
What the...
Are you...
Let's calm down, everybody. This is a lovely dinner, and let's leave any domestic issues away from a pleasant party atmosphere like this before it goes too far and the entire evening's ruined. Hey, let's all settle back down, enjoy the food, the conversation, and the drink, and leave any disagreements and accusations of people being something or other until we're all in private.
Alright, I need a roll from you, Matthew. I need a manipulation persuasion. I need at least 3 successes, because you're trying to persuade an entire room.
Okay, well, luckily that's the kind of thing I'm quite good at. So let's see. I get 4 successes.
Wonderful. It's your words kind of like almost put a blanket over everything, and everyone seems to be a little more at ease. Your mother, Ellen, is pulling her husband's sleeve. Sit down, don't make a scene. And he still looks in complete distress, and his eyes does not look away from you 1 second, Ellen. And before long, the entire room is tense. You can both feel that. It's incredibly tense. No one is talking at all now. And before long, your mother gets up and she says, "Oh, that was a lovely dinner. I think my poor Richard is feeling unwell. I believe we have to call it a night. A wonderful dinner." And she's actually leaving in the middle of everything. And Ada's mom is, but we have dessert too. You can't leave yet. I'm afraid we need to. We don't want Richard having another episode, do we now, Richard? And Richard doesn't say anything. He just stares at Ellen. And he gets up. And when he gets up, your brother gets up. And they leave the table. And everyone is just sitting there awkwardly afterwards.
Am I expected to go with them, I guess?
No, they don't even look at you.
Okay. I'll just let them kind of go, then.
Ada's mom her hands are shaking again. Do you think the wasn't good enough?
Well, I'm sure it wasn't the food, Mrs. Simpson. It appears that there were some personal grievances. It was nothing to do with your lovely food. Everyone was enjoying it until that dreadful man just came in and started shouting.
Yeah, Mom, don't. Ada's getting up. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. Let me help you clean everything out, and we'll have some dessert afterwards. Okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry about my dad. He has his things, and I'm suddenly realizing that I'm talking in front of the whole room, in front of people who were trying to impress him, and I'm standing there in my ragged clothes, and I try to say something, but it mostly just comes out as a trailing off sentence of apologies.
I assume if your family's leaving, Alan, you've got no way of getting back home.
I'm not actually going home. I got a gig, and it probably time for me to go to that one.
What gig is that?
I'm playing tonight. Playing at a jazz club. Play jazz. I'm a jazz pianist. That's what I do.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's good. Yeah, I like it. Parents hate it too, so that's another thing.
Where are you playing at?
Well, tonight we was gonna play at the. It's a small place. I actually play at bigger places too, but this is the Crooks.
Ada looks over to you, Dolph, and she's looking with those eyes, you know, so well, those pleading eyes. Can we go and listen, Dolph? Just for half an hour or something before we go to the other part. It's not starting yet, so can we just, please?
No pressure. I mean, it's.
Yeah, I know it's that part of the city you don't like, all that. I know.
I got other gigs too. I could just let you know you can come to something else if today is a bad time.
Yeah, but we're already dressed up, like we're ready to party.
We're not dressed up for a jazz club.
She leans over to you, Dolph, and she's like, just to make him happy. I think he's had a rough day. Come on.
I look down at my plate.
Looks like he's had a rough life. I suppose if we're leaving here early, we might as well go somewhere. Although if it's some smoky jazz bar, it could ruin our outfits. I'm not going somewhere where people are jostling drinks all over the place.
And what kind of place is Crooks? And you know the place is... it's not the worst bar in the city, but it's definitely what you would consider low class.
Yeah.
It's not a gig where you expect a lot of people to be there, but it's pretty well paid, so you guess the owner is well off, or it's going well for him.
Well, it's not your... No offense, but it's probably not your kind of place. Like I said, I got some more high-end places that I play at too. This is more like, an easygoing jazz club, much like Dolph here described it. It's a kind of smoky place. Yeah, I don't want you to ruin your clothes and stuff.
Come on, we can wash it. It doesn't matter. Please, Dolph, let's go. Please, just for half an hour.
If you can mollify your mother and make her feel a little better, we can go to this jazz bar.
You know, I'm very good at that. She gets up and she goes into the kitchen to join her mom. And that leaves you and Alan alone in the living room.
And my head, it's just spinning round because I'm really wondering. And I got a sinking feeling of who it was that called my dad.
Now, you're going to tell me right now, Alan, because I've done very well staying outside of kindred society, as it's called, and especially staying away from any masquerade crimes, or whatever they're called. Was your dad about to say in a room full of people that you are a member of our exclusive club? Because if you think he was, I'm going to make every excuse under the moon to make sure my girlfriend and I are not in your company tonight, or indeed any other night.
Holy shit, Dolph! No, I'm sure that wasn't the case. I haven't told anybody about this, and I look very guilty. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, and this is what's been fucking up my night so far. Pardon my language, but I have a boyfriend. My parents, they don't know. My brother, I think he's got a hunch that that's the case. Tonight, we had an argument, and I worried that he just called my dad and told him about us.
You think you've been outed?
Yeah. It's stupid, I know.
Well,
it's not your business, but it's shit. It's shit, man.
Oh, it certainly sounds it. I have every sympathy.
I mean, it's not like I need them. I just have been kept up with family business. You know, I go on things like this. I don't need that. I got other friends, and I got things to do. I'll be fine without them.
No. No, you will need them. I don't know much about this existence of ours, but I do know that you need to surround yourself with people.
I rub my forehead.
Even if they're people you don't necessarily like. You need to maintain at least a veneer of normality, and for some people normal is, frankly, sucky existence. Yeah, I've been told that too. Oh, I just wish I had better people to hang out with to begin with. You close to your family? No, not particularly, but I am close to Ada and her mother, and my entourage. I know it sounds frightfully pretentious to say that I even have one, but I do have an entourage of photographers, PAs, and the like, and that helps create a bit of a cover.
It sounds like a good life, man.
It's demanding, but it works for me.
Anyways, to answer your question, no, that's not what he would have been told. I'm confident about that. It was, even though this is shit too, I don't know why Michael would do something like this. I gotta call him, I guess. I don't know.
Yes, you should. Anything that could put your existence in jeopardy at this point. You don't want your life being more closely scrutinized, do you?
No, of course not. And look, I know your girlfriend, she seems really nice, and I get that she wants to make a nice gesture for me, but it's really not necessary.
No, we will spend at least another 30 minutes in your company watching you play the trumpet or whatever the hell it is you do.
It's the piano. It's the piano.
Fair enough. I'm not musically talented personally, but I have a lot of respect for anyone who can do something like that.
That's nice to hear, man. Yeah, I've been working pretty hard to get somewhere, and career-wise, I'm quite happy where I am. Yeah, just been touring actually, and well, that was shit.
One thing, Dolph is saying this somewhat reluctantly, internally rolling his eyes, but he steps forward and puts a hand on Alan's shoulder in a vaguely reassuring manner. One thing I've been told, what little I know of my family in this club of ours, is we are supposed to help people who struggle, people like you, people who might be a bit lost. So, providing there isn't some great bullseye on the back of your head based on what your father now knows, I have some kind of societal obligation to make sure that you are not devolving into a terrifying state. You can speak to me about your problems, is my point.
Thanks, man. Thanks a lot.
The night progresses and the table gets cleaned off and dessert is eaten, and it seems like Ada's mom is calming down a bit more, and she seems much less stressed now that they are just themselves. And Ada's dad is even joking a bit. He doesn't seem too bothered by the entire situation. He doesn't really seem bothered by anything at all in his life. And there's about 30 minutes until you have to be there, Alan. So, Ada is walking up to you, and you two have actually been talking this entire time because none of you wanted any dessert anyway. And she walks up to you and she puts her hand around Dolph's shoulder, and she looks happy and she looks excited. So are you guys ready to go, or?
Yeah, sure.
You've been talking for like super long.
Your parents are really nice.
Yeah, yeah, they're sweethearts. My mom is just like a little crazy sometimes.
30 minutes. We'll spend 30 minutes at this place.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm so excited. Okay, that gives us enough time to actually hear a couple of songs. Like, is it? Oh, so it's jazz, right?
Yeah. We got a nice little repertoire.
That's so cool. It's been years since I've been like in a club like that. We always go out like really nice places.
Yeah.
At Ada is being unintentionally rude right there. She doesn't really know what she's saying is not very nice, but she doesn't seem like she's doing it on purpose.
And I forgive her for that. I just appreciate the gesture, you know. I kind of appreciate not being completely alone, and actually having told Dolph a little bit about my personal life. It's just I feel pretty happy in their company right now.
All right, so Ada is walking off to call a taxi. Do you guys want to talk about anything while you have this last moment alone?
Well, Alan, it has been an absolute pleasure getting to know you, such as our encounter has been brief.
Yeah. Listen, I really appreciate you caring, and I know part of it comes from the obligations, like you say, of looking after each other, but I really appreciate having someone to talk to tonight.
Oh, well, it's really no harm done. It was either that or constantly telling tales about why I can't eat the food here.
Yeah.
But no, I understand the reason we have our society is so that we can look out for each other, although I have no doubt there will be other people, other members of our club who see the society as a way of one-upping each other, climbing on each other's backs to dig each other into the dirt. I'm not interested in that, so...
Yeah, no.
I just want to live a comfortable life without any dramas.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we played the chronicle The Sacrifice from Chicago by Night for Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. Chicago by Night is published by our friends at Onyx Path Publishing, and Vampire the Masquerade is published by Modifius. Our storyteller was Klara Horskjær Herbøl, and we were also joined by the gentleman gamer Matthew Dawkins. Check them out on social media and on their Patreons to support their work in the tabletop space. The intro was composed for us by the amazing Simon Kølle, and he has also provided us with all of the music for this chronicle. Check out his work at simonkolle.com. If you want to support our work, please check us out on Patreon. You can get access to bonus campaigns for Cult Divinity Lost and Coriolis there, as well as get early and raw access to all of our recordings. More importantly, that support is what keeps the show going, so do check us out on Patreon. Thank you again for listening, and see you soon again.